Hi there guys, I've got a brand new video for you today. I have a brand new phone as well, so the video shouldn't cut out and the quality and the sound quality should be much improved. So hopefully it is. You can let me know if it's a lot better than the previous videos. So we're going to start by getting into a good stand-in alignment. So just getting your feet and knees hip width apart and make sure your feet are quite parallel, so toes not turning out too much. And then we're going to lift up your toes and give them a good wiggle around. So really wiggle out your toes. Just trying to warm up into your feet. And then spread your toes wide to place them down. So you want to feel that your weight is centred across the four corners of each foot. Pressing into your big toes, out into your little toes as well. Nice and spongy through the knees. And then up to your pelvis. We'll get it into neutral, so tipping back and forth. So try to keep your legs still, isolate your pelvis, tuck your tailbone under, stick it out behind you. Make that move smaller and smaller until you settle in the middle. Good, holding in your belly button a little bit to switch on your core muscles. Relax your arms at your sides. Take a big breath in, lift your shoulders right up to your ears. Just sigh it out. Relax them down. And again, inhale to shrug. Helium balloons on your ears. This time as you exhale, melt your shoulders and now lengthen out through your spine. One more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale, melt your shoulders down, lengthen through. So just tuck your chin in, retract it back. Feel that length right up into the back of your neck. So your neck is an extension of the rest of your spine. So you want to feel the slight tug of war pulling from one end to the other across your spine. Big breath in, lift your shoulders, lift your ribs up. Keep your rib cage lifted. Exhale, melt your shoulders down, lengthen through. One more time with the ribs. Inhale to lift. Keep them lifted. Exhale as you melt down and lengthen. And then rotate outwards from the shoulders. So feel your shoulder blades flatten out into your rib cage. And palms are facing to the front. Elastoplasty your shoulder blades, resting your arms at your sides, but your shoulders are still down and back. Leading with the thumbs, we'll inhale, float your arms up to shoulder height. As you exhale, draw your arms in at your sides, lengthen your spine a bit more. So I want you to imagine a corkscrew. So inhale to lift. As you exhale, the arms of the corkscrew draw down and the middle lengthens up. So you've got a bit more helium into those balloons now, really lifting you up. Keep that going. Let your arms feel really floaty. So soften your elbows, soften your fingers. And let's see if we can really draw your back muscles right down. So as you exhale, really draw your muscles right down towards your bottom. So pulling down on the muscles either side of your spine, right down your back. Now melt those shoulder blades down as well. So as you exhale, slide your shoulder blades down towards your heels. So back muscles and shoulder blades are pulling down and your spine is pulling up. So you have this tug of war between the top and bottom of your spine. Good, one more. Well done. Keep your arms down at your sides. We're going to fully take your head over to the left, back to centre, and then fully over to the right, back to centre. So keep that going. Now keep your alignment here. So helium balloons on your ears, your knees are still soft. And we'll just begin to gently warm up through the neck and shoulders. Taking it very gently, but you might just get a little bit further around each time. So one more to each side. Taking it back to the middle. We're going to bring your head forwards, tuck your chin to your chest, and then begin to roll up to one shoulder. Have a little peek along over that shoulder. Hold it there. Really relax your shoulders away from your ears so you feel a bit of a stretch to the side of your neck. And then take your chin, drop it down, trace your collarbone. So let your chin just roll down and up in a semicircle until you're facing the other side. Hold it as you melt your shoulders down. So just a few more onto each side. So you're feeling the muscles across your upper back. Gently stretch out, and we're mobilising a bit more through your neck. We'll do one more to each side. And then bringing it back to the middle. Good, so get your balloons back on your ears, lengthen up. We're going to circle both shoulders forwards, right up to your ears, and then take them back, squeeze your shoulder blades together, then slide them all the way down. So you're taking both shoulders round in a big, smooth circle. Okay, so we're just focusing on the shoulders. Let your arms just relax heavy at your sides. Relax your fingers. And I want you to imagine that you're drawing circles with your shoulders. And you have to get your circle as big, round, and smooth as possible. So deep breath in as you come forwards and up, and as you exhale, take it back and down. Now keeping your chin retracted, keeping that neck long. One more this way. We're going to change direction. Both shoulders, take them back, right up to your ears, then forwards, then down. So smooth round circles. Let your arms hang heavy at your sides. So inhale, coming back and up. Exhale, forwards and down. Two more. Good, having a good shake off there, guys. We're going to take it down onto the mat now, onto your back. Just readjust my camera. So get yourself down safely. We're going to come down and roll over onto your back. So bending your knees in if they're not already there, and if you have a little cushion that you're using, just rest it at the base of your head. So you have a bit of a space between the back of your neck and the floor or the mat. Arms down at your sides. So let your head leave a little imprint in that cushion. Let your chin tuck in towards your collarbone. We'll take a nice deep breath in, so let your ribs open out. As you exhale, let your ribs soften, feel them draw a bit closer together. Deep breath in again. Now as you exhale, let your muscles soften, allow the back of your ribs to sink into the mat, especially those last few bottom ribs. Your chest muscle should feel nice and open. So palms facing up, glide your arms out a little away from your body so you can really flatten out your shoulder blades and allow your collarbone to open out. As you exhale, let your hips relax, sink your weight heavily through your tailbone so you feel centered through your pelvis. And you should feel like you have as much weight going through the right side of your body as you have through the left. Take your attention to your feet, make sure they feel just hip width apart and your feet are parallel. And you have as much weight going through your toes as you have through your heels. And then when you feel comfortable, focusing on your pelvis, isolate your pelvis, tip it all the way back, sink your lower spine down against the mat, tip it forwards, feel your lower spine lift away and arch. Keep that going as you tip back and forth, making the move smaller and smaller until you've settled in the middle, the neutral pelvis. Good. So we'll go through the breathing. So as you inhale now, direct your breath into the sides of your body, each side of your ribcage expanding outwards. And as you exhale, just allow your muscles to soften, feel your ribs draw closer together. Inhale when you're ready. As you exhale now, draw your ribs and pull them tighter together. So feeling your upper core muscles beginning to work. Breathing in when you're ready. And again, exhale as you draw across your ribs. So pulling them together and also pulling them down. Inhale into your sides. Exhale, draw your ribs in, tighten your tummy muscles down, pull your belly button down to your spine, but you're not losing that little space at your lower back, that natural curve. Just breathing in. Exhale, draw across your ribs, tighten your tummy muscles down, and now try and pull across the front of your hip bones as if you could slide your hip bones together like patio doors closing. So breathing in when you're ready. As you exhale, lace your corset, ribs, abdominals, squeezing across the hip bones, as if that space between your hip bones could get smaller and you can really draw your hip bones in. Lifting on your pelvic floor muscles, lace your corset a few times on your own. Feel all your muscles tighten into your centre line, but your arms are relaxed, shoulders and hips feel heavy in the mat and connected. Okay, good. We're going to float the arms up now, so fingers pointing up, palms facing in. Now lift your shoulder blades right off the mat, so your shoulder blades are no longer flush, and then focus on your shoulder blades, let them just melt down beneath you. Let them flatten out and feel heavy against your mat, leaving little imprints. Your elbows are soft, arms slightly wider than shoulder width apart, tucking in your chin, deep breath in. As you exhale, let your ribs soften a bit more. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset, squeeze your ribs together, pull them down as your arms float back just a couple of inches until your hands are above your eyebrows. Pause, inhale. Exhale to relace your corset as you draw your ribs together. Bring your arms forward, so slowly, slowly. Continue to float them down towards your sides, just lacing your corset up tighter and tighter and tighter. The closer your arms get to the floor or to the mat. Little sips of breath. When you're ready, inhale to reset your arms. As you exhale, flatten your shoulder blades out, tucking in your chin. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset as you float your arms back. Now making sure those last few bottom ribs don't lift off the mat. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset. Let your arms feel floaty as they begin to come forwards. So thinking about drawing your ribs in, drawing across your hip bones, flattening down on your abdominals, lacing your corset tighter and tighter and tighter. Closer your arms get to your sides, inch by inch. Let you do a few on your own. So inhale to reset when you're ready. Exhale, let your shoulder blades melt down first, get them into place. And then inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset. Now as your arms come forwards, really press your ribs down so they're really connected to the mat. Let that be the driving force to bring your arms forward. So not really thinking about what your arms are doing. Okay, you're really just focusing on your corset muscles, holding your ribs in place and trying to tighten your corset as much as you can with this move. On your next couple, just try to pinpoint the part of the move where you can lace up your corset the most. So there's normally a few shifts throughout the move, the closer your arms get to the mat, that you feel you can just more easily tighten across your muscles. So just try and pinpoint the part of that move where that happens for you. And on your next move, I want you to pause and let your arms hover at that point. Okay, for me, it's about here. So if your arms are a lot higher than this, maybe just lower them down an inch or two so you're roughly at the same point as me. As long as they're not kind of, you know, still fairly pointing up to the sky, as long as they're just a bit more lower than that, then you're going to be able to do this next move. So we're going to turn your palms down to face the floor. Now let your shoulders really rest heavy into the mat and try and hold your arms quite straight, but your elbows are just a bit soft. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lower your arms a couple of inches. Inhale to lift back up. Keep that going. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. So try and lace up your corset tighter on that downward pulse. And just allow your arms to feel weightless. Focus on your corset and focus on holding your shoulder blades down. Your neck is long, tucking in your chin. Allow your ribs to melt down into the floor. Couple more. Well done. And just rest your arms at your sides. Give your hands a little shake off. Hug your knees up to your chest. Let's have a little stretch out for the lower back. A rock from side to side. Scooping your tailbone under. Keep your head on the cushion, but tuck your chin to your chest. Okay, well done. We're going to bring the feet back down one at a time. And let's just walk your heels just an inch or two closer in. We're going to take it into some floppy leg lifts. So tipping back and forth until you settle in neutral with your pelvis again. Just gliding your arms back out, flatten out your shoulder blades. And just check you have as much weight going through the back of your right hip as you have the back of your left hip. Okay, so into a floppy leg lift. We're going to keep your lower leg from your knee to your foot really relaxed as we lift and as we lower. I'll talk you through it. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset, ribs, abdominals, squeeze in across your hip bones, and just start to let your right foot just hover off the mat first of all. So keep your leg relaxed. We're going to continue to lift until your knee is just above your hip, but you're just relaxing your leg from your knee down to your foot. So you can see my calf is almost touching the back of my thigh because my lower leg is just that relaxed. So that might obviously not be the same for you, but you just want to make sure those muscles are switched off as much as possible. Inhale. Exhale to release your corset. Now keep your leg relaxed and slowly lower your thigh until your foot touches the mat. So take it slow. This is a very small move. Tightening your corset a bit more the closer your foot gets to the mat to hold it steady. Good. Just keep your foot there wherever it landed. Other side, inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset now as your left foot just hovers. So just let it hover a centimetre or so and scan over the back of your hips, and you want to try and keep your weight even on both sides. So lace across. Continuing to lift until your knee is slowly just above your hip, and let your foot relax. Pause and inhale. Exhale, tighten your corset. And slowly, inch by inch, lower your thigh until your foot just touches the mat. Let it land softly. Keep that going now. So lace up your corset before your leg lifts. Now you want to keep the back of your ribs connected to the mat, sinking heavily on those last few bottom ribs. And we have a bit of a focus here on the lower abdominals. So just imagine that you could make that space smaller in between your hip bones by drawing your hip bones in like patio doors, sliding together. Now, on the way down, as your foot lowers, I want you just to pause and let your foot hover for that last inch before it touches the mat. So just hold it there, tighten your corset, really squeeze your muscles in, and lower your foot. So we're going to add in some little foot hovers to make it more of a challenge. So just take your time. So So you want to let your foot hover really low to the floor. The lower your foot, the more of a challenge this will be. And let's do one last move. Good job, guys. So we're going to take it into hip flexor stretch. Bring your left knee, hug it into your chest. Flatten out your lower back. Keep your lower back pressed into the mat as your right leg straightens out. And then relax your foot out and then slide your right heel out to the side away from your body. So opening out into your hip flexors. So draw your tummy muscles in so you can really flatten out your lower back. That's key to this stretch. And as you exhale, allow your muscles to soften. So relaxing down your thigh, right down to your toes. You can open that left knee just a couple of inches out to the side if you want to. It helps to get a bit deeper into that stretch. Give your glutes a good squeeze on the right and hold. And relax, good, slide your leg in. Bring your right knee into your chest, so both knees are hugged in if that feels okay. You can do one knee at a time. Have a little rock side to side. And then when you're ready to switch, keep your right knee hugged in as you straighten out your left leg, pressing into your lower back. Let your foot relax out, slide your heel out to the side. Opening that right knee a little if you want to. Just make sure the back of your hips are pressing into the mat. Squeezing your glutes on the left side and hold. Good, relax, slide your leg in. Bring that foot back into place. So we're going to put those two moves together. So your floppy leg lifts with the arm floats. So bent legs, walk your heels that little bit closer. Get your pelvis centered and level. And then when you're ready, bring in the arms back up. On your next exhale, flatten out your shoulder blades. Elbows soft, palms facing each other. Tucking in your chin and let your ribs just melt down into that mat beneath you. So let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. So as your right foot begins to lift and hover, let's float your arms back just a couple of inches. So keep it really slow with the arms. Lifting until your knee is just above your hip. Now let your foot relax. Pause and inhale. Exhale to lace across. Now slowly taking that foot down. And let's begin to float the arms forwards. We're going to take them right down to your sides. Now let that right foot hover for that last inch away from the mat as you finish your arm move. So tightening your corset tighter and tighter. The closer your arms get to the floor. When your arms are down, you can rest that foot down. Good. Inhale to reset the arms. Exhale, melt your shoulder blades. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset as your left foot hovers. Arms float back. Now lifting your knees slowly until your knee's above your hip. Inhale, exhale, lace across. Now draw your ribs in, press your rib cage down. Beginning to float the arms forwards. Take your time with your leg. Pause, let that foot hover as you finish off the arms and lace your corset tighter and tighter and tighter the closer your arms get to your sides. And then bring your foot down. Let you do a couple just in your own breath. Using the back of your hips as your feedback. Trying to keep your weight even across your hips. tucking your shoulder blades down. Tucking in your chin's going to help to hold your ribs and shoulders down. Make that your last move. Bring your knees, hug them in whenever you're ready. Give them a little circle round. Okay, so this is optional. To progress the move, we're going to bring the first leg up, keep it lifted, then take your second leg up as well. So we're going to have both legs off the floor. And if that feels too much for your back, so it's important you listen to your body, you're just going to stick with just your single legs lifting one at a time. Okay, and you can still add in the arms, or you can just give your arms a little rest, lay them at your side. So just do whatever feels right for you. Okay, so if we're taking it into double legs, we're going to bring them up one at a time and then take them down one at a time as well. So heels are a bit closer in, just get into alignment, arms relaxed out. Make sure you're centered through your pelvis, most importantly. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset. Now slowly begin to hover that right foot. Focus on the back of your hips, keep them feeling even as much as possible as your right foot begins to lift until your knee is above your hip. Now keep that foot relaxed. Okay, lower leg is really floppy. Holding this leg where it is. So we're taking it into double legs. Let's inhale to prepare. Exhale, lace your corset. Now press your ribs down. Keep them connected and slowly bring your second leg up. Take it slow. Don't rush your move. You want to get the most out of it. Pause and inhale. Exhale, lace your corset. Slowly begin to lower that right foot down and relax your shoulders. We're going to add in that little hover, just an inch away from the mat. So pause, tighten across, little sips of breath to keep you going. Bringing that foot down, well done. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset. Bringing that second leg down on its own. Add your little hover in at the end. Well done. We're going to start on the leg you've just brought down so that you just are switching up your starting leg each time. So if you can remember, I'll let you do a few just on your own breath. So back to singles at any point if this feels too much, or if you feel your ribs lifting or your back beginning to arch. So we want to keep that neutral space at your lower spine, but we don't want it to get any bigger. Okay, so you're going to use your corset to hold your pelvis in neutral to hold your ribs down. Just try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Let's get your patio doors to slide shut. You want to really engage with your pelvic floor. Let's do one more move. Good job, guys. Hug your knees up, circle them round, let your back relax out here. Okay, we're going to warm up the legs and the hips a little bit more, do a few little lifting kicks here. So bent legs, feet on the mat, bring your right knee, lift it into your chest, and then straighten and kick that leg away, so keeping it low to the floor. Bring it back in, so lift and kick, lift and kick. So just keep that going. Now you can pick up the tempo if that feels okay for your back. If not, just keep it more slow and controlled. Okay, just let your arms relax out. And just feeling a bit of heat build up within your muscles around your hip on that side. Now you're going to need a band as well, or a scarf, so just make sure you've got that. You can pause the video and go and grab one if you need to. Just do a couple more on that leg, and then we'll take your band, keep your right knee hugged in, so you can place your bands around the middle of that right foot, so keep your knee hugged in, and then slowly straighten your leg all the way up. So So letting your hands just stretch right down, slide right down to the ends of the bands, and let your elbows just relax at your sides. Now you want to make sure your knee isn't bent down, okay? So if it is, lower your leg and try to get a really straight knee, and just continue to lift your leg up until you can no longer keep your leg straight. So that's what's going to give you a really good stretch into the hamstrings, which run near your tailbone, right down across the back of your knee. So we need your knee to be straight, and we need this hip to be down. So give your right bum cheek a little squeeze into the floor. You might feel that your leg lowered when you did that, and that's okay. You should feel more of a stretch in the hamstrings now. So squeeze in that bum cheek down. My band isn't behaving today. Good, so hold it there. Now press into the four corners of your left foot. We're going to hold it and breathe. So as you exhale, imagine that tension softening down the back of your thigh. Just allow that first wave of tension to pass. And it might feel okay to maybe just lift your leg a bit closer. If not, you're just going to hold it there and breathe. Now, if it feels okay to increase the stretch, really drive the back of your right hip into the mat. Squeeze your right bum cheek down, push into your left foot to help you drive your right hip into the floor. And keep your hip down as you press your heel up to the sky. Gently point your toes at your nose. If it feels too much, just lower your leg. Okay, or you can just bend your knee in and let go if this feels too much, but you're going to breathe through it. Just hold it to the point where it's just mild discomfort, nothing more than that. A stretch should be enjoyable, it should never feel painful. And if it does feel painful, you're just taking it a bit too far. Okay guys, lovely. Bend your knee in slowly. Okay, take your band, pop it to the side. We'll do a few lifting kicks on the left leg. So bringing your knee in, straighten and kick that leg out. Pick up the pace if it feels okay for your back or your hip. If not, keep it more slow and controlled. So if you can hear my clicky hip, that's really loud. Okay, so feeling that warmth begin to build. Just a couple more. Well done. We'll take your band, pop it over the middle of your foot, slide your hands down to the ends, keep your knee hugged in, and then slowly straighten up when you're ready. Now press into your right foot into the four corners. Make sure your leg is straight so your knee isn't bent. Lower your leg if you need to. And then squeezing your left bum cheek into the mat. That's holding the back of your hip down. Just deep breaths as you exhale. Just feel the tension soften. Feels okay to lift your leg a little bit higher if that first wave of tension's passed. Now, if it feels okay to increase, drive your left hip down into the mat. Push into your right foot. So sinking your hip heavily down, and hold it in place as you press your heel up, and gently, gently point your toes at your nose. Lovely guys, bend that knee in slowly. Pop your bands to the side. We're going to do a little variation of the shoulder bridge now. So removing your pillow from behind your head and walk your heels a bit closer to your body, arms stretching out at your sides. And tuck your chin to your collarbone so the back of your neck is just stretching a bit further to the top of the mat. Now press into the four corners of each foot. Press into your big toes. So from here, let's inhale As you exhale, lace across. Now press your lower back down into the mat. Hold, squeeze your glutes. And then inhale as you come forwards into neutral. We're going to keep that going. So exhale, lacing across, tipping your pelvis back, holding, squeezing your glutes to help you. Inhale to come forwards. So I want you to keep that going. Exhale to tip back and inhale to tip forward. So feeling your tailbone just peel off the mat. Just letting your lower spine rock back and forth. So those little notches of your lumbar spine are leaving a little imprint in the mat. Just let one vertebra lift at a time and one vertebra lower at a time. And I want you to really tuck your chin to your chest as your pelvis tips back and stretch a bit more through the back of your neck. So tuck your chin in, let your neck lengthen. So you're feeling more of a stretch into your spine now. Try and relax across your shoulders and your collarbone. Okay, so there's a fish hook in your tailbone now. I want you to imagine someone's pulling on your fish hook, stretching your lower spine towards the bottom of the mat. At the same time, you're tucking in your chin, stretching your upper spine towards the top of the mat. So you're creating this tug of war between the top and the bottom of your spine. So as your tailbone lifts, you might feel your heels pressing into the mat a bit more as you try and stretch the back of your hips a bit closer to your heels. So let your tailbone really stretch away. Let's do 2 more. Good, well done. And then take your pillow back behind your head. We're going to take your arms out at your sides. Bring your feet and knees, walk them in together. Let's do a few window wipers. So let your knees drop down to the floor, down to any side. Bring them back up gently to the middle and let them lower down to the other side. And then lift them back up. So keep that going now. Just letting your knees drop down from side to side. And if this feels okay for your back or your hips, you can pick up the pace a little bit. It's just letting your lower back just rock against the mats. It should feel quite nice for your lower back. But we're really trying to mobilise into your hips here. And we're also giving your spine a nice bit of rotation as well through your thoracic spine, which is so good for you. Just notice how your hips feel. You might feel tighter maybe on one side, so maybe your knees can get a little bit lower down on one side more than they can on the other. So not holding any judgment, but you're just noticing how your body moves. Noticing any areas that feel tight. Just a couple more onto each side, and then we're going to hold this stretch. Make this your last one on each side. Bring your knees up to the middle. You can either keep them together, or you can cross your right leg over your left if you want a deeper stretch. And gently take your knees, drop them down to your left hand side. And as you do that, turn your head over to your right hand. And we're going to hold it here for a good minute. Now pull that right shoulder blade down towards the floor, holding it in place. I'm going to breathe deeply. As you exhale, soften around your hips. Let any tension go there that you might be gripping onto. Allow your muscles to soften. Pulling that right shoulder blade down still, so you're getting that stretch across the front of your shoulder, all the way down your side, across your hip. Good, now draw your tummy muscles in and gently push your lower back into the mat to bring your knees to the middle. Uncross your legs. You're just going to take a little moment to pause and compare how you feel down the right side of your body to the left, the one that we've yet to stretch. So even if that didn't feel like much of a stretch, the right side of your body will just feel more open, maybe a bit longer. And the left side might all of a sudden feel tight, even though you didn't think you felt particularly tight before. So same again on the other side, crossing your left over your right, or just keep your feet and knees together if that's more comfortable for your hips. And gently lower both knees to the right hand side. Gently turning your head to your left hand if that's okay for your neck. If not, just keep it centered. And as you exhale, let your hips relax. Allow your thighs to melt down to the floor. Going to pull that left shoulder blade towards the mat. So we're anchoring on that left shoulder and that right hip. They feel really heavy into the floor. And the rest of your body is just soft and relaxed. You're giving your muscles permission to have a stretch here. Permission to ease off. Permission to relax. So draw in your tummy muscles to push your knees to the middle. Uncross your legs. Take them out straight one at a time. Take your arms right above. Point your toes, your fingers, really stretch. And lift your abdominals up. Well done, guys. So we're going to relax here. We're going to do a little bit of work on our sides and side lying. So I'm going to get you to roll onto any side. Use an extra cushion if you have one, or if your cushion is high enough, just to bring your head up. Then you can just have that arm tucked in beside it, or you can take your arm under your pillow so you've got a bit of height from your arm underneath. So your heels are right under your hips. Your body should be in a nice long straight line. You're tucking in your chin, and that bottom shoulder, snuggle it down, shuffle it down underneath your top shoulder, so your shoulders feel stacked and your neck is comfortable. So pulling in your chin, that top arm's either on your side, and just slide your fingertips down, or at any point just have your fingertips resting on the floor in front. Now pull in your belly button, have a little sway forwards and back, and just make sure you feel centered so that you're fully on your side, and your hips, knees and ankles should all feel nice and stacked as well. Top shoulder blade, let's slide it down and back. Pop your elastoplast on. Take your fingertips in front, or keep your arm on your side. So let's inhale. Exhale, lace your corset and lift your ribs. Pull them up sideways off the mat. So you'll feel your top hip kind of stretch a bit closer down to your toes, and you'll feel nice and long along that top side of your body now. So keeping your ribs lifted, keep your corset tight. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to float your top leg just up to hip height. Small lift. Inhale as you lower, but your ribs are still lifting. Keep that going. Exhale to lift, and inhale to lower. So we're going to keep that going. So not really thinking about what your leg is doing. I want you to relax your leg a little, soften your knees, soften your toes, and just focus on your upper body here and your corset. So you want to keep your ribs drawing in, squeezing across your hip bones, stretching that top arm down your side, or sliding that shoulder blade down and back. And you're thinking about keeping those ribs lifted. So your shoulder blade should be really flush with your ribs. And if you're using the fingertips in front, just have them resting only. Try not to lean. Okay, so you want to feel kind of centered on your side, and then just use them for a little bit of support for your balance. We're going to keep the leg, your top leg lifted on the next one, just up to hip height. Now soften your knee and then move from the hip as you take your leg forward a couple of inches. And then take your leg back a couple of inches. Move from the hip, try not to bend your knee. Keep that going as you move your leg forward and back. So hold in your belly button. Keep that top shoulder blade in place. Corsets on. Your neck is quite relaxed. You're going to feel the burn here on the outside of that hip, so breathe through it. Moving your leg slowly. One more forward and back. Well done. And relax that leg. Good. Give your knee a little bend up. Give your thigh a little rub out there. It's a bit nippy. And then if you want to, we can stretch out the quads here if you can. You can hug your foot in towards your bottom. Just stretch that knee away from you down towards the bottom of the mat and holding in your belly button a bit to keep your corset switched on. And we're going to do a double leg lift here. So taking that leg back out straight, make sure you're on your side, shoulders stacked. Pull in your belly button, inhale, exhale, lace your corset, lift your ribs up. Keep them lifted. Inhale to prepare. Exhale as you lift both legs together. Now try and stay on your side and not lean back. Inhale to lower. Good. The ribs are lifted. Exhale to lift. Squeeze those feet up. Inhale and lower slowly with control. Okay, let's do 2 more. Well done. Relax there. Give that top leg another stretch if you'd like. If not, let it rest. Hug your foot in. Stretch that top knee away from your body. Give your glutes a little squeeze this time as well, just to increase that stretch down the front of your thigh. Good. We're going to roll over onto the other side. Position myself. Okay, so getting yourself over, take your time, get that bottom shoulder shuffled right down underneath your top one, and your heels should be right under your hips. Have a little peek down to make sure they're not too far in front or behind. Hips, knees and ankles should all feel stacked. And let's slide that top shoulder blade down and back. Hold in your belly button. Inhale, exhale, lace your corset, lift your ribs up. Stretch down that top side of your body. Try and stretch that top hip right down to your heels. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to float that top leg. Inhale to lower. Keep that going. So not thinking about your leg, it's just floating up and down, but all of the work is going on within your centre to hold your ribs up. You're just tightening your muscles right into your spine as tight as you can, and trying to allow that top shoulder blade to stay flush into your ribs. We're going to keep that leg lifted on the next one, just up to hip height, and then bring it forwards a couple of inches, keep it small, and then take your leg back a couple of inches. So move from the hip, try not to bend your knee. Keep that going, moving forward and back. You want to hold that top shoulder blade in place. Draw your navel into your spine. Breathing through the burn on the outside of that hip. One more forward and back, well done. And relax. Give that thigh a little rub there. You can either just let it rest or into your quad stretch. Just holding your belly button, stretch that top knee down and away. We're going to take that leg back out, finish with your double leg lift. So draw in your belly button, inhale, exhale, lace your corset, lift up your rib cage, slide your fingertips down towards your toes, inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lifting both legs together, squeeze them up, keep your ribs lifted, inhale to slowly lower. Good, keep that going. So just see how slow you can lower your legs, so you're controlling it from here, from your center. Just try and relax your head, neck and shoulders. Well done. 2 more. Just really get into your obliques here, right down the side of your back, of your abdominals. Good, well done. Another stretch on that top leg if you'd like. Hug it in, give your glutes a little squeeze now, and try and stretch your knee down towards the bottom of the mat. Taking that leg back out straight. Let's bring your knees, hug them right up into your chest. So you can stay on your side if you want to. Really just tuck your tailbone under, scoop it under. Keep your head on the pillow. Melt your shoulders away from you, but tuck your chin to your chest. So feeling a bit of a stretch down your back. You can roll onto your back and bring your knees up if you prefer. Okay, lovely. So we're going to finish off in prone, taking it right down onto your belly, and I'll just talk you through this one here. So just take your time flipping over onto your front, and you want to just have your forehead resting on the edge of your pillow, just like this, when you get round over onto your belly. So you're not covering your nose or mouth. You can still breathe, and your arms in a W position, just like this. So palms on the floor, either side of your head. So let you make your way over. Your feet and knees hip width apart, and you want to have your hands out wide enough so that your shoulder blades can just relax away from your ears. And I want you to imagine an ice cube at your belly button that you're pulling up from. So draw your navel right up to your spine, and let your heels just relax out to the side a little bit. Okay, so we're going to hold it here. Do some leg lifts to start with. So inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lift one leg off the mat now. So keep your legs straight. There's a very small lift. Inhale to lower. Belly button still pulling up. So changing legs. Exhale to lift. Now keep your other heel relaxed out to the side. Inhale to lower. So I want you to keep that going in your own breath. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Now, the foot that's still on the floor, just try and keep your heel turned out to the side so that your glutes are staying somewhat switched off, and we're really just focusing more into your back muscles. I want you to imagine you're lifting from the back of your thigh, so you have a helium balloon tied on just above your knee at the back of your thigh. That's where your lift is coming from. So let your foot relax. So trying to keep the lower part of your leg softened, and just lifting from behind your knee. Feeling your lower back muscles kicking in and having to work a bit harder. Okay guys, relax there. Make that your last move. Okay, so now I want you to take your arms right down at your sides. So palms facing into your trousers, just snuggle your arms right in at your sides there. So lift your belly button up away from your ice cube. Okay, we're going to keep your heels relaxed out to the side, switching off those glutes. Now lift your hands just off the mat, so they're just lifted but they're still right in at your sides. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, slide your fingertips down the sides of your trousers and lengthen through the back of your neck. Keep your head on the pillow, but think about lengthening out through your upper spine, tucking in your chin. Now squeeze your shoulder blades together and slide them right down towards your back pockets. Hold and breathe. Keep those heels relaxed out. Keep lifting your tummy muscles up away from your ice cube. And relax down. Have a little breather. So we're going to do that move again. So palms turned in, Draw your navel to your spine, lifting your hands just off the mat. Inhale, exhale, slide your fingertips down, lengthen your spine. Squeeze your shoulder blades together like you're pinching a pencil between them, and slide your shoulder blades down away from your ears. We're going to hold it. Keep those shoulders really lifting up away from the mat. And we're going to hold, inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, lift one leg off the mat now. Keep your shoulders lifting, squeeze them together. Inhale to lower that leg. Change sides. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Keep that going if you can. Try not to let your shoulders drop. Keep them lifted. Keep sliding your fingertips down. And keep drawing your navel into your spine. Let's do one more on each leg. Well done. You can do it. Lifting those shoulders, squeezing them together, melt them right down towards your back pockets. And then when you're finished, relax your legs down. Well done. And then take your time pushing up onto your side, making your way onto all fours, and we'll finish in child pose for a stretch. So resting your bum back into your ankles and take your head down and your arms out, let your chest just rest towards the mat. Feeling that stretch into your back. You can use a little cushion if you want to here. So take some nice deep breaths into the back and sides of your ribs. Let your back muscles really stretch out. And each time you exhale, let your head and chest just rest a little bit closer to the floor as you keep pressing back into your heels. So allowing your back muscles to lengthen out. If you want to get a bit more of a stretch across the shoulders, just take your arms out straight, keep your fingers or your elbows a little bit further forward, and then walk your hands over to the left-hand side first. Just take your head and chest with you, pressing your bum into your heels. So you want to take your arms over to the side, but think about stretching your fingers or your elbows away from you at the same time. So we're getting more of a stretch across that right shoulder and down that right side of your back. So hold it there and breathe. Good. Walk your hands to the middle, have a little walk over to the right. Keeping your fingertips away, pressing your bum into your ankles. Just try and let your head and chest melt a bit closer to the mat as you exhale. And then walk your hands to the middle again. And just hold it here for those last few breaths. You might feel your head's a bit closer to the mat now. Okay guys, so very slowly take your time coming back onto all fours, and you want to tuck your toes under in preparation. Bring your hands in towards your knees, and when you're ready, one swift movement, push your hands into your heels and lift onto the thighs and slowly roll it up. Keep your legs bent and let your spine uncurl very slowly so that your head lifts up last. Okay, good. So when you're back up onto your feet, just circle off your shoulders. Quite a bit of work on your shoulder muscles when we finish with the arrow there. So working the muscles behind your shoulders and your upper back quite a bit. So shake everything out and we'll get back into a good alignment for you to finish. So your feet and knees hip width apart, get your feet quite parallel. And then lift your toes, spread them wide as you place them back down. So press into your big toes, out into your little toes as well. Spongy through the knees. And then your pelvis, tip back and forth until you settle in the middle. Holding everything in place. Bring your arms at your sides, pull in your belly button that 30%. Deep breath in as you lift your shoulders up. Helium balloons, get them on. And as you exhale, melt your shoulders down as you lengthen out through your spine, through your neck. Big breath in, lift your ribs and shoulders together. Keep your ribs lifted. Exhale as you melt your shoulders down and you lengthen through. Retracting in your chin. And then rotate outwards from the shoulders. My cat there jumping down. So your shoulder blades feel nice and flush into your ribs. And then elastoplast them into place so they can't move as you bring your arms and rest them at your sides. And lastly, without looking down, check you're spreading your weight evenly across all 4 corners of each foot so that you feel balanced, centered, and you feel grounded. Very well done. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys soon for the next video. Thank you. Take care. Bye.